I'll go. I wanted to shout out Alicia for hitting month 2 success starter. Way to go. I also wanted to shout out everybody who has added someone to the Mother's Day sale list and to our leadership team, all the diamonds and star diamonds that are posting your team leaderboard. It's so inspiring. It makes me so happy. I love seeing your teams up there. Every single point matters. Every single point is a life changed. And I'm just so, so proud of you guys.
I'll go. I want to officially welcome Jenna as a coach. I'm so excited. Some of you might recognize her. She came as my guest on the Success Club trip to Dominican, and she's been a challenger with me for 18 months. She's had an incredible transformation. She has been on my dream team forever, but has resisted until now, and now she is like ready and fired up, and she's sharing on her stories, and it's really inspiring to see, and I'm just so excited to have her join the team. And I also want to just give a shout out to my coach, Natalie, who has been working really, really hard. And, you know, after a couple months of trying to hit that SC and not quite getting there, she hit SC4 last month. And I'm just really proud because she's putting in the effort. And I know that it's going to show up and it's going to work out and come to fruition. And I'm just pleased and proud to see how hard you're working and how much you're getting from this.
I'll go. I just want to give a huge shout out to my coach, Krista. Krista started on Sunday and signed up. She's currently in the mentorship for May. She's already made connections. She's already posting every day. She already has people interested in Fire and Flow. So Krista, I am just so excited to watch you grow. You are already on fire.
I'll go. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to echo what Courtney said about the shout out to the boards and everyone who showed up last month. In the Arize team, we had a bunch of people that were really pushing for their Success Club party qualifications. And so just massive congrats to Melanie Stairs and Steph Walker, who both qualified for the SC party. And Eric, our guy, he really, really pushed so hard and he hit SC10. He didn't qualify for the party because he was just missing that one coach with 1 point, but otherwise, like, the team did incredible. Rise, I am so freaking proud of you guys. So what a great month. I can't wait to do it again.
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback off Jen's. Sarah Bashara hustled hard last month also to earn the summit party. She has 0 working coaches and manipulated 3 different accounts so that each of her PSs could get 2 points on the board. And that is just a hustle it takes and is so inspiring. And you made it work. And so proud of you. And also to Lori Delahunt Kalori for leading Team Impact this month. Your picture was at the top of the board. She's a new coach on our team and she is doing amazing things. So congratulations, Lori.
I'll go. I want to welcome, oh, go ahead. Sorry, I don't even know who that was. Oh, sorry, Tina. I want to welcome Patty and Becky and Amanda, who are new coaches this week. We just did our first mentorship call, and I'm really excited about the coaches starting in May. I feel like the momentum in the group and the energy is really great, and that is everything, right? Like, that helps each other play off of each other. So I'm really excited for the mentorship group this month. I want to give a massive shout out to 2 coaches who killed it last month in their very first month, to Valerie and to Jess. I don't know if you guys are on the call tonight, but man, you guys freaking slayed last month. Valerie was at the top of the entire board and she's literally brand new coach. And I'm like, both you and Jess friggin' slayed. You're both coming to Summit this summer. I can't wait to friggin' cheer you guys on and watch you shine. So just wanted to let you know that I see you and you guys are amazing. Lastly, I just want to give a massive shout out to my girl Koo and Jennifer Arbor, who both got their diamond back as of tomorrow, who have been working so damn hard for it. And I'm super, super, super proud of you guys. Way to go. You earned it.
That's so awesome. I'll go. I want to welcome Erica, Christina, Alice, and Caitlin, who are all joining us in Every Effort this month. I'm so excited. And I was feeling your fire as a lot of you guys were on the mentorship call. So welcome. And I was a little bit late just hopping on, and I don't know if anybody's already said it, but I also want to give a shout out to Jen Milks for the hard work you did organizing the sale, all the graphics. Like, you could have been spending that time working your own biz, and instead you're spending that time like pouring into all of us and helping us. So seriously, thank you, because it's been an amazing sale, and it's made all of our lives so much easier just having had that stuff. So thank you.
I'll go. I just want to shout out Leslie, who hit Emerald last week. I'm just so excited and proud and honored to be on this journey with you and to have you on my team. I don't know if you're on the call, but I'm sure you'll catch the recording. And just being at Super Saturday with her and with everyone was just like massive fun. Congrats, Leslie.
I forgot, and I feel terrible because it's a big freaking shout out, but I forgot to shout out Melanie Campbell, who hit friggin' Success Starter, her 4-month Success Starter. She's literally slayed every single month since she started in January. I'm so proud of you. She's going to get into the next test group, which is massive. Super friggin' exciting. Way to go, girl. You're killing it.
Super fast. I just want to shout out Nicole. Nicole, you hit SE4, your highest so far, and you're also running your first group this month, which is going well. You're awesome. Keep it up, buddy.
I wanted to shout out Taylor, who joined last month as my first coach. And last month she hit SC4 and Emerald, and it already has a bunch of potential clients for this month. So I'm super excited for how much she's jumped right in.
First shout out. Anyone else? That's so exciting. I love when I hear a new coach shout someone out for the first time. So congrats to you, Chanel, too. Okay, we do have 2 announcements before we pass it over to Christine, who I am so excited to introduce. But really quickly, we did want to say that I know we talked about the fact that we are opening a apparel shop that we did through Fit Sweat Life. And I just wanted to let you guys know that it is live. After so many back and forths, we are officially live. So Eric, we have a men's tee designed specially for you. But yeah, we're really excited. So everybody going to Summit, anybody going to Super Saturdays, our brand is powerful together. It's so cool to show up. I know for me, except for when I'm speaking at Summit, I'm going to be wearing probably Sisterhood the entire time because I want my people to find me. I want to find you. And it's just really fun to be in it together, especially at events, because a lot of other people will recognize you too just by wearing that. So it's really exciting. And the second announcement, Erin Girouard is going to talk briefly about the Mother's Day sale, and then we'll introduce Christine.
All right, so yeah, I wanted to check in about this Mother's Day sale because I remember being brand new, and I think I was joining at like the tail end of the summer sale, and I had no idea what was going on, and I didn't join and I didn't participate. And I wanted to tell you guys like what an amazing opportunity it is to dive into one of these sales. Okay, so just today alone, I've set myself up for SE12 with like minimal effort, and it's the 4th of the month. So for starters, if you're looking to hit SE, it's an amazing way to do it. People love a sale, and I just wanted to talk about a couple different ways that you can kind of maximize the sale for you if you've done nothing up to now. Okay, so if you've done nothing, there's still time. We said that the sale is today and tomorrow, but I don't think we're doing the draw until Saturday. So if you want to utilize Friday and even like early Saturday morning to get your shit together, do it. Oops, sorry, Finley, I just swore in front of her. But anyway, so yeah, a couple things that you can do. For starters, go in and watch Sarah's live video in don't copy me, in the coach page. It really lays it all out for you. It tells you exactly what's going on. It tells you exactly how to run it and what to expect. So take a few minutes and go watch that. and then click on that landing page. If you search anything in Coach Corner, you can find all of this info. So like search Mother's Day sale and you'll be able to find it, and go click on that landing page and really familiarize yourself with what's going on. It's not complicated, okay? Next, I want you guys to go live in your community. This is so massive. I saw something the other day on No Shame Sales Game. I like that girl on Instagram, and she was saying like, sales don't sell because people are looking for the deal. It's because you're more excited. And so you're talking about it like you're excited, and people buy off of your energy, right? So go in your community and talk about this and talk about why we're doing it. And I want you to say things like, we're giving back to you, like the mom who works so hard. We wanted to recognize you. So as a coach community, we've come together and we're offering X, Y, and Z. Like, don't just be like, products are on sale, you can get a journal. Like, no, talk about why we're doing this, to honor the amazing mothers that are in our group. And I honestly can imagine that the majority of all of our groups are full of moms. You know, a gift with purchase, over $750 to give back to you guys. Like, these are keywords that you should be saying. The next thing you can do is print off your entire client list and send an email. It doesn't have to be like a beautiful sisterhood or Her Daily Brave newsletter that's so gorgeous and glamorous. It can just be like a simple email from the heart to all of your clients explaining what we're doing. I sent a newsletter the other day and I got a ton of responses back asking for more details, talking about renewals. Super, super easy. Just include the landing page, include the nice graphic that Jen made, and Bob's your uncle. The next thing you can do is go into your back office and look who's up for renewal. This is super, super important, and message them. And if you haven't talked to them in a while, or if they haven't checked into your group in a while, don't just assume that they don't want to renew. Okay, it's not up to you to decide whether somebody gets another year of this or not. It's up to them. And if you have not talked to them in a while, this is an amazing opportunity for you to get into their inbox and connect with them and ask what's going on in their life. Maybe their nutrition's garbage and they could really, really, really benefit from gut protocol right now. And that's part of the sale. You know, maybe they have no idea that Go and Glow is even a thing because they haven't been paying attention for a long time and you haven't really brought it up to them. So maybe they have no idea that that's an option too. So it's a really good opportunity for you to check in with people who have fallen off, find out how they're doing, let them know that they're up for renewal, and offer them the deal to join you for another year. What else? Oh, go through your tracker. So we all know the importance of tracking the people that we've been talking to. So go through your tracker that you've developed over the last month or 2 months or 3 months. And all of those people who've been on the fence, or who told you no, or who said like, circle back to me in a little while, this is your opportunity to get back into their inbox, okay? They might not see it in your stories if that's the only place that you're posting it. They're not in your community, so they're not seeing it there. They've probably missed it. So this is your opportunity to send them a message. Hey, we've got an amazing sale going on right now. This is what's happening. Like, I wanted to circle back to you and see where you're at, connect with those people again. And then tomorrow, when you wake up, you can post the beautiful graphics that Jen made as an engagement post into your community. So the one that I posted today in Every Effort brought all the tiers. It's the tag an amazing mom in the group. Honestly, like, people are tagging each other, talking about why she's amazing, and it says like Mother's Day sale on it, so they know that the sale is live. So I would definitely encourage you to use one of those engagement graphics, or even make your own if you haven't. And then just start talking to your community about it. Let them know that the sale is live. Erin posted yesterday, like, a ring the bell when you've purchased, or ring the bell when you've entered into the draw. So that's really fun too. So the people who are purchasing can get engaged. And then start talking about the products. Like, you can always say, if you're somebody who posts your Energize every single morning, you can talk about how that's part of the sale. The Mama Juice that I drink every day is part of this, blah, blah, blah. People are obsessed. You can post about Erin's amazing journal and how it's part of the incentive of the sale. That's something that I have included every single day in my stories, and I have a ton of engagement on it. People want to know what I'm journaling about, and they love talking about it with me. So you can post a little graphic of that, talk about how that's included. It's something totally outside of fitness and nutrition that I think people are really interested in. And then make lists, like, who are the lifers that always purchase from you at every single sale? We all have those people. And then who are the people that you haven't really connected with? Maybe just go in and send them a make your day message, see how those people are doing, reconnect with them, because this doesn't have to be all about hitting SC necessarily, or like making you know, the biggest paycheck you've ever made, maybe you can use this sale to reconnect with the people that you haven't talked to in a while and just get back in touch with those clients of yours that have fallen off or need a little bit of your love or a little bit of your encouragement moving into the summer. So those are the tips that I have for you guys today. These sales are always fire for me. I love them so much. Thank you, Jen, once again, and good luck.
All right, guys. Thanks, Erin. Okay, I'm so excited. I can't believe we've never had Christine on our team call. I first met Christine at my very first Crush Nation Diamond retreat, and I knew that she'd been coaching a long time, and she led us through a yoga practice, and she just had the most incredible, calming aura about her. And it's been really, really inspiring to watch her longevity in this business and her consistency, and just to be doing this business alongside her. So we asked her to come and speak to us all. She's had a lot of personal growth across the course of her business. And that really is the magic of coaching, right? So from chaos to clarity is her topic. I'm so excited to have you here. I think Christine is a 2-star diamond. She can tell us a little bit more, but welcome, Christine. Thank you so much for your time tonight.
Wow. So first of all, what an absolute gift it is to be on your call and, you know, watching your growth and Erin's growth and Jen's growth and Erin's growth over the last few years. It's pretty cool. And I love watching the different conversations that are happening and what you guys are all doing in your business. And it's inspiring to me, even after 5.5 years, to know that you're in constant learning mode. And I think once you decide that this is a lifelong process, this is a journey in the making, I think that it's not hard. This isn't a hard business. I think we make it more challenging than it actually is. And so, you know, when Erin asked me, like, what do you want the title of this call to be? And the first thing that popped into my mind was From Chaos to Clarity, because I've gone through a lot of chaos. And even though things aren't absolutely clear, things are definitely not foggy anymore. And I think one of the reasons behind that clarity, or that my journey towards clarity or more clarity, is the fact that I've done so much personal development. And I think that, you know, our business, our personal growth precedes our business growth. So oftentimes we say we're doing the things, but we're not really living in integrity. You know, one of the calls that we had, I think it was about a month ago, and I happened to be in the parking lot while my daughter was at her swim meet, and I had this massive aha moment in the afternoon when I was driving. And, you know, I've heard so many times about how we have this imposter syndrome when we're in this business, and how we show up and we feel like, you know, we're not really living in our truth. And I think it's because that's exactly that, is that we are not living in our integrity. We're not showing up the way we're asking our coaches and the way we're asking our clients to show up. You know, we're saying we're doing the things, we're posting we're doing the things, but in the back, and, you know, in the background, we're doing things very differently. So I think it's so important to find a way for you to really recommit to your own personal journey. So I'll share a little bit about who I am, first of all. So first of all, thank you, Courtney and Erin, for having me on the call. I don't know if I said that at the beginning. So yeah, I've been in the business. I've been working with Beachbody for 5.5 years. I've been in the fitness industry for 22 years. I've been teaching Pilates and yoga. I've been a personal trainer. I started as an aqua teacher, aquafit in the pools. I taught spin. And so wellness has always been sort of a part of my life. But even though I had the wellness aspect and I was doing a lot of fitness, what I was doing in the back didn't really match what I was doing. I was drinking heavily. You know, I was not in a good place in my life. I was extremely thin. I was working teaching up to 25 classes a week. I was tired all the time. I was a single mom. I was, you know, in extreme debt. And, you know, Beachbody just happened to fall into my lap a few different times, but I never really understood what it was about. And it wasn't until I was injured that I was like, okay, like maybe I need to work out a little bit because I'm teaching so much. I'm not in a good place in my life. Something needs to change. And what's happened in the last 5.5 years is my growth stage has changed so much. So where I started 5.5 years ago is very different from where I'm at today. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous. I'm all over the place. So I think one of the things that I found which has helped me grow so much in my business was finding the things that I love to do. I think that we forget, and we're in this constant state of learning all the time and consuming all the things all the time, that we kind of forget what we actually love, which was one of my tips today with finding your own personal development was, first of all, are you living in integrity? Are you showing up the way that you're asking your coaches and your clients to be? And what'll happen is if you're not living in integrity and if you're not walking in your own truth, is that it's going to show up in your spiritual life. It's going to show up in your family life. It's going to show up in your business life. It's going to show up in all aspects of your relationships, because your integrity is a part of who you are. And if you're not walking that in that place of integrity, it's going to show up in every aspect of your life. You're going to be disconnected. You're going to show up in your life as if you're feeling stuck. So you're going to be in this constant state of consuming and picking up every personal development book that somebody says that's good, because you think that's the answer right there. So you're going to dive into that personal development. That doesn't work. So you're going to jump in. So you're going to be in this constant state of consuming and learn. And what happens with that is you become really confused, right? Have you ever gone to a restaurant where there's like so many different choices on the menu and you have no idea what to do? Or have you ever gone to a conference? Maybe that's a bad example, but have you ever gone to a conference or a speaker's event and you've got all this information thrown at you and you want to consume it all? And what happens is you become very unclear about everything. So really setting yourself up in a place where you're walking your truth, you're standing in integrity, and you are not consuming so much that you're becoming confused in your purpose. Another thing that number two, a second thing that I want to talk about is like, let personal development evolve over time. Your priorities are going to change, your seasons are going to change, your life is going to change. So your personal development is also going to change. I find that some of the personal development books that I had picked up 2 years ago, I would open them up and they meant nothing to me. It didn't speak to me. They were recommended by other coaches, especially if I was walking through a particular season. I would be recommended a book and I would pick it up and it wouldn't speak to me, and it would sit on my night table for a couple years. And then I would pick it up when I was in a different season and it would speak to me very differently. We're the same. We're developing our purpose as we walk along this path of Beachbody or your life journey. Oh my God, I'm so fucking nervous. This
Christine,
happens.
You are so amazing.
Sweating.
You have so much value to share. You truly, we are all in awe of you right now. So nothing to be nervous about in the slightest.
Okay, because I feel
You're
like I'm
amazing.
jumping all over the place. I had so many things to talk about. I have notes everywhere, notes. And I was like, where do I start? And you know what? And here's the beautiful part about saying yes to opportunity. This scares the shit out of you, right? You just say yes, you figure it out along the way. And this is a part of my personal growth. It's funny because I used to talk a lot about how nervous I was speaking in front of a group of people. Here's the thing is I've been speaking in front of a group of people for over 20 years and it hasn't changed. I still get nervous. I still do. I still sweat. I still feel like I have marbles in my mouth. Sometimes I feel like, I'm putting my foot in my mouth. I'm not saying the right thing, but that's okay. that's totally fine, because you're showing up in such a way that's authentic that, you know, I know I'm showing up in a place where I'm just human, and I'm a human being. I'm not a human doing, right? And we hear that a lot in our practice. So John Maxwell says, and I picked this up the other day, and he said something like, you know, change is inevitable, growth is an option. So every single day we have this incredible opportunity to grow, and that's a decision that you make on an everyday basis. From the moment you wake up to the second you go to bed, you have this opportunity for growth, right? And growth happens in stages. You know, your beginner stage is a beautiful place to walk from. You know, I would watch my yoga students come into this class, and they would feel super nervous about, you know, attending one of my classes, because they can be pretty challenging. They're like, oh my God, Christine, I've heard about your classes. They're so hard. And I'm like, they're hard. So go at your own pace. Come into, and I would tell my more advanced students, come into this class with a beginner's mindset. Be in this constant state of curiosity. Be in this constant state of learning. Be in this constant state of self-inquiry. And this business isn't just Beachbody. You have to understand that. It's not. It's way more than that. It's so much more than that. I can't even tell you, like, the Beachbody opportunity, this vehicle, and I know you've all heard this before. Beachbody is just a vehicle. That's all it is. Beachbody is a vehicle, and it's an opportunity for you to evolve into this incredible human being that you want to be. You know, so when we take a look, you know, I think Shailene said this the other day, and it really stuck home with me. She said, you know, for a long time, she was putting on her vision board, and she was talking about these big goals that she had. But here's the thing, they weren't her goals. They were another coach's goals. And then she felt like maybe that's what she wanted as well. So she put them on, but it didn't feel like she was aligned with that. And I so resonated when she said that. She said, you know, I just didn't feel in alignment with those goals. So she decided to change those goals. And here's the thing is, your goals and your priorities are going to change monthly, yearly. My goals look way different. So when I first started coaching, I was also farming. I would find, so here's the thing, is I have a true entrepreneurial spirit. I know that about myself. I've got great work ethic. I will try everything. And it's funny because I've made a list of all the things that I have done in my life that has brought me to this very moment. And I want you to maybe make a list tonight, which was one of the things, hold on. So one of the things I had written down about some of the tips on how to find your own personal development, or how to develop your own personal growth. Write down all the things that you have done in your life, as wild and as wacky as they are, as crazy as they are, as obscure as they are. Write down the things in your life that you have done and that you've said yes to, and then you really didn't know what you were doing, but you just said yes anyway. So I'll give you a couple examples. Okay, I'm going to get really raw, and I'm going to share a couple things with you that maybe you'd be like, oh shit. And I'm even questioning whether I should say it or not, but I'm like, fuck it, I'll say it anyway. Sorry, children. Okay, when I was 17 years old, I left home. I hitchhiked my way from Montreal to Ottawa, and I started stripping. I decided at 17 years old that I was going to leave home. I actually had left home at 16. I took a bus to Edmonton. I came back, and I never came home again. I hitchhiked my way to Ottawa, and I started dancing in the bars. That led me on an entire path of self-destruction. I was heavily addicted to cocaine. I was addicted to cigarettes and alcohol. It took me down this path of self-destruction. And I was there for about 10, maybe 12, almost 12 years. I kind of would get out, back again. Do I regret that? It's a tough question, but it did lead me to where I'm at today. Okay, so it's not one of my proudest moments. It's not something that I was proud of doing, but it's something that I did, and it has brought me to this place today. That's number one. I went to school for broadcasting and television and radio. I had no idea what that was going to be about, but somebody said, hey, I'm going to be going to Specs Howard School of Broadcast Arts in Michigan. You should do it too. And I was like, okay. So I went to school for a year. I did broadcasting and journalism. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to sell everything I own and move to New York. Okay, I'm going to do that. Everything that I've done has brought me to here. My dancing, my going to school for broadcast arts. I've learned how to find my voice. I learned how to express myself. I've learned to use the fluctuation of my voices up and down. That led me to, teaching classes. One of the things I've always done in my life was take care of my body because I was dancing. Therefore, I had to have a nice body. I had to dance. And so everything kind of went in circles. And I'm sorry if that's too much information. It is what it is. I got married at 37 years old. I had my daughter at 40. In that time, I built my own vegetable garden. I turned my entire backyard into a urban farm. I wrote articles for Elephant Journal. I ended up growing food so I could sell my food. I ended up doing meal plans for people, cooking food for people so they could have delicious, healthy foods on their table. They would come to my house 8 o'clock in the morning and I'd have all their food ready for them. I did that for about a year and a half. Everything, so that led me to Beachbody. Beachbody led me to falling more in love with the process of clean eating. I became plant-based about 5 years ago. I dove into that, and I was like, I had so many people asking me about food, and so many people asking me about living a plant-based life, and so many people asking me about where do I get my protein and how do I become more plant-based? So then I decided to write a friggin' book. So I wrote a book, not because I knew how to write a book, but because it just felt like it was a natural evolution to where I was. 3 years ago, I decided to become sober curious. And that happened after I turned 50 years old. And I had a massive blowout with my boyfriend. It was awful. We've broken up so many times, but that was at a point in my life where I was like, I need to look at these destructive behaviors that I have. So that led me to getting more clear, talking to more people. My goals changed after that. My relationships changed after that. My business changed after that. Everything changed. But let me tell you that everything that you do from maybe the time you were 16 years old, the time you were 10 years old, whatever, up until now matters. It all matters. And I think if you peel away enough layers, you'll find that too. So maybe it's something that you love doing as a kid. Maybe it's something that you were forced to do. Maybe it was, your own, everyone has their own personal story. So have you looked into that? Have you looked into unraveling and getting curious about what led you to this point? Because it's not just Beachbody fell into your lap and all of a sudden you started to want to coach. What brought you there? Like what has brought you to this very moment, right? And there's nothing wrong with anything that you've done because you're here right now in this very moment, right? So one of the things that I've realized, okay, number 4 is one of the things that I've realized is that you have to do what you love to do. You have to love what you love to do, whether that's hiking, cooking, Disney World. I don't know, that's not for me, but apparently a lot of people love Disneyland. Maybe you love doing that. Maybe you love gardening. Maybe you love poetry. Maybe you love doing yoga. Maybe you love, weaving. Maybe you love, running marathons. Like whatever it is that you love to do, I think you need to do more of that. Getting creative and finding your creative outlet can inspire you to show up differently in your business as well. So if you're getting really creative, if you're doing things that inspire you, it's just going to help inspire your business more. So like I said, like your personal growth and your personal development and your personal creativity, that precedes your business growth. So if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling like you're not really moving in your business and you're just kind of like just doing the things because the other coaches are doing the things and everyone's getting up at 5 a.m. and everyone's writing in their journal and everyone's doing the same program, is it really you? Is it what you really love to do? And if you're feeling stuck and if you're feeling like, you know, you're not feeling the things, you're not showing up in integrity, you're doing all the things and you're not in alignment, it's going to show up everywhere. It's going to show up in your business. It's going to show up in your relationship. It's going to show up everywhere. It's going to show up in your stories and how you post. So are you doing things to spark joy in your life? Are you doing things that are creative? This is where I'm talking about, like the disconnection. If you're not feeling like, if you're feeling stuck, there's a disconnection somewhere. So personal development is incredibly personal. And again, this goes back to the beginning stages of your business. The beginning stages can be a beautiful place to start from. There are no mistakes at all. You're never making a mistake in your business because you're just showing up, and you're going to realize that along the way, whether that works for you, whether that's in alignment with you or not. And then you just kind of shift and you move on to something else and you see if that works. And if that works, great. If it's in alignment with you and you love to do it. One of the things I've learned as well is, like, if I don't like a program, that's it, I'm done. I tried doing programs that everyone else was doing. And what I realized is that it was sucking the life out of me. And I wasn't showing up excited, and I wasn't showing up, just excited. I would just like, yeah, I'm doing the program. You know what program lights me up? MBF. So I talk about that all the time. Gut Protocol was an incredible program and perfectly aligned with my values. Living a plant-based lifestyle. I won't preach it, but I talk about it a lot. Because it brings me a lot of joy. It brings me a lot of, it definitely opens up a lot of conversations. And all of a sudden with the Gut Protocol, I've been able to implement my book. So my book, I didn't know the Gut Protocol was coming out, but I'll tell you that everyone who's purchased a Gut Protocol from me also gets a free ebook from me. So see how that worked? Like, I was doing the things that I love to do. I started with gardening, growing my own food, living a plant-based lifestyle, talking about my plant-based lifestyle, getting sober, getting super clear, writing a book, and then all of a sudden Gut Protocol comes out and I'm like, wow, this was perfect, right? I'm able to share my book with so many clients. I'm able to have bigger conversations about that. So the Beachbody was great. The Gut Protocol was great, but the development of my book and the development of my own personal being now shows up in Beachbody in this beautiful, authentic way. And, something that okay, I'm going to be jumping subjects here again. I did a short reel today, and one of the things that I'd read a couple days ago, I heard a couple days ago, was ask better questions. So that's another personal development tip that I have for you today, is ask better questions. And when I say ask better questions, I don't mean just ask better questions to your clients. Ask better questions of yourself. So if you're asking yourself, if you're saying, I'm what was one of the questions that I asked today? Why is this happening to me? Or why did I mess up? I can't believe I messed up so bad. Instead of asking those questions, instead maybe ask, like, why is this happening for me? I know we've heard that so many times, but it's like just asking a different question, changing the narrative and changing how you're asking these questions. I mean, at the end of the day, what did I say? I said that asking empowered questions creates empowered responses. So when you're asking really empowering questions versus, the self-deprecating questions of, why is this happening to me, and changing the narrative to why is this happening for me, you can really make those empowered decisions after. So every action after the fact becomes more clear. So everything happens in stages. So wherever you are at in your business right now, whatever stage you are, whether it's beginner or whether you're a year in or 3 years in, you are in constant state of evolution. Ask yourself constantly bigger questions, deeper questions, more enlightened questions, questions that really force you to sit down and write things down. Journaling is a beautiful way of doing it. I've been journaling for over 30 years. It's something that I started to do when I was a kid. I say a kid because I'm 53, I said, right? So I started journaling really early on in my life. And again, that's led me to really discovering a lot about myself. And I swear I'm going to burn every book when I die. It's just like every book is, no, I say that as a joke because there's a lot of truth in there that I am, that has really opened me up to discovering more about who I am. And I think that that's a big part of being a business owner, is having an entrepreneurial spirit, really, unraveling and creating some curiosity about who you are, developing self-inquiry, evolving in a way that's true to you, living in integrity, living in, and I say in purpose. Here's the thing, is like, you may not even know what your purpose is yet, and that's okay. One of the things that kind of rubs me the wrong way, and I'll say it out loud, is when people talk about becoming your best self. I have a really hard time with that, and I'll tell you why. You haven't met your better self yet. You are in constant evolution. Your best version of you haven't even met her yet. I want you to appreciate, and I want you to fall in love with who you are right now. In this very moment, I want you to fall in love with who you are, with your flaws and your mistakes and your fuck ups and your all of it. I want you to fall in love with who you are in this moment, because the best version of yourself hasn't even shown up yet. By you incorporating your own personal growth, with you peeling back some layers, and some of them might not be pretty. My layers aren't very nice sometimes. I've had to do a lot of soul searching and a lot of heart storming and a lot of digging, and I'm still doing it 5.5 years later. I know that this business has made me a better person. I know that this business has allowed me to find my sobriety. My business has allowed me to write a friggin' book. I wrote a book. Like, I would have never in a million years thought that, although I wrote articles and I would write really cool posts. I didn't know how to write a book. Let me tell you, I did not know how to write a book. I didn't know what to do, but I just started. And my beginning stages were scary. And that's okay too, because we run towards the things that we are most fearful of. And that's where the growth happens. It's an everyday process. Don't be afraid of being a beginner. Don't be afraid of the first stages of your business. Just be afraid of being stuck, right? That's really what you should be afraid of. Whew, those are a lot of words.
You're doing so great. You're so incredible. I could listen to you all night. I feel like you have such an amazing, just beautiful energy. And I feel grateful that you're sharing it with us tonight. I don't want to cut you off if you want to keep going, but if you're all done, that's great too.
Let me just look at my notes real quick. I want to make sure. Well, I know you said like you really enjoy, your team calls are usually very tactical, and I'm more of like, I'm going to talk until until you tell me to stop. And and here's the thing, is like we all show up differently, right? And again, that's the beautiful part about this business, is like, just be you. Be you. Be authentically you. Even as messy as it is, maybe as not perfect as you would like it to be, just, you know, continue to be you. And you know what, the people that resonate with you, they're going to connect with you. You know, and here's the thing. If you're trying to be like someone else, if you're trying to be like Courtney or like Erin or, you know, like Kim or like me, it's exhausting. It's exhausting to try to show up like someone else. It's exhausting. And you're going to lose so much steam, and you're going to lose the love of what you're doing because you're trying to be something that you're not. It's exhausting. I did it the first couple years of my business. I did, because I thought that that's the way I was supposed to be. If I'm a Beachbody coach, this is what I should be doing, right? And then I found it to be exhausting. I found that I wasn't showing up authentically, even in my own life, you know, like, and then and it's really, and I'll tell you, and Courtney, I know that you felt this as well. It's like, when you get sober, and I'm not going to push the whole sobriety thing on you, and Jen, you know, when you show up from a clear place, sober place, everything in your life will change. Everything in your life will change. Like, I've had an addictive personality, even though I don't really like that term as well. But I always felt like I had to find an external source to validate who I was, and to feel like I mattered, and to feel like I don't know, like I felt like I needed those, because I didn't think I was good enough in the person that I was. I was so afraid of people not liking me for who I was. And if they knew my story, they would run. And you know what? And if they do learn my story and they run, okay, they weren't my people, right? They weren't the people that were going to be supporting me along the way. So I found I actually just started sharing my journey about a year ago, about my dancing days, you know, I was so ashamed of that. I did not want to tell people that I took my clothes off for a living. But I can tell you something. When you take off your clothes in front of 100 or 200 people, you can sure as hell go live in front of a bunch of people. Like, it's very, you know, like the inhibitions are gone. And when I started talking about my sober journey, that changed everything as well. From sharing your story, and listen, I'm not telling you to share everything, all your dirty secrets, all your things, because maybe, here's the thing, is like, I've learned people don't know what to do with it. A lot of times, if you're sharing a really intimate story or something that's happened to you in your past, or whatever traumas you've endured, sometimes you're not ready to talk about it either, and just spewing it out, it just feels like you just show up as like a victim, right? So you're telling your story, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I feel like a victim. Well, you weren't ready to share your story yet. And a lot of times people don't know what the heck to do with it. They're like, okay, now what am I supposed to do with this story? Like, so talking about and sharing your story has to come from a place of empowerment. So again, going back to the question, asking better question, how is this story going to serve others versus, I wonder if I should share my story? How, is it useful? Is it empowering? Is it helping someone else? Is it coming from a place of integrity? Is it coming from a place of purpose? Or am I just, doing this verbal diarrhea stuff? So asking yourself better questions really goes, hand in hand with how you show up in your life and in your stories and in your sharing. So
that's amazing. Honestly, your wisdom is so gratefully appreciated here tonight. And I think that truly it's when we embrace who we are unapologetically without the filters and the makeup and the pretending to be somebody else, that's when we thrive. That's when we thrive, right? We're all super different. And when you are brave enough to show who you are, that's when you find your people, because your people will connect with the real person that you are. Thank you so much for your time today. I know you spent a lot of time preparing for this call too, and I appreciate that. We're grateful for you. Please let us know.
Wait.
Courtney has a question, but in advance of that, where can we get your book? Like, I'm super curious. I want to copy of your book. Where can we get your book?
Okay, well, you can go into my Instagram page, and the link, it's in one of the link trees. So thank you for asking that.
Yes, of course.
If anybody wanted, if anybody had any questions, I don't know if, I hope that this has been helpful, and I hope that it's been of value to you. Sometimes I can just talk a lot, and I hope that it was helpful in some way.
I actually have like a little bit of a pit in my stomach, like, because what you're saying is, I hope that there's a couple people on this call that are feeling that pull to change. Because when you said that you need to live in integrity, that was the basis of the first 2 years of coaching for me. In order for me to live in integrity, I needed to make changes in my own life, because I couldn't show up on social with all the dirty vices and things, because it didn't feel authentic. It didn't feel like I was living in my integrity, right? And so just so much of what you're saying tonight just brings it back to who we need to become. Like, I think Jen just said that, right? In order to do this business. And it's no surprise that the people that have had the most personal growth are the most successful in this business, because she's right. It's not about you completing the same program or completing it all in, right? It's your personal growth throughout that process that is attracting people. It's your struggle and your triumph that connects with people, not the completing MBF, right?
Yeah. And I love that you said that. Like, I mean, in the first couple years of my business as well, like, I wasn't living in integrity. Like, people knew that I was always in the wellness industry and I did all the things, but what was happening behind the scenes was very different. And, walking integrity, you are a human being. Like, your life is not Beachbody. It isn't. It's a vehicle. So your growth and who you become along the way. And again, like I said, like, the best version of you hasn't even shown up yet. Mine hasn't shown up. I know I've got a ways more to go, but I love who I am in the moment, and I love who I've become along the way. It's not perfect. It's not, it's not even close to who I want to be, but I damn well love the person that I've become today because of everything that I've walked through in my entire life, but more specifically, if we're talking Beachbody, if we're talking this business, in the 5.5 years that I've been working this business, trust me, there's a lot of ups and downs. And I'll tell you something, and it was something that I noted. First of all, when you're in a low period in your business, okay, first of all, I want you to do a checklist. What are you doing? If you're in a low point, how are you showing up in your life? What vices are you hiding? What are you doing behind the scenes that doesn't allow you to walk in that place of integrity? If you're in a low place, check things off. Am I going to sleep at night? Am I, scrolling? Am I drinking? Am I smoking? Am I, eating all the shit food? Am I, not doing the things? Am I not walking in doing the same things that I'm asking my coaches and my clients to do? Everything is a process. Beginner stages are beautiful. Middle stages are gorgeous, and the continuous journey is beautiful as well. So you're going to have a lot of ups and downs. First of all, don't trust your decision making when you're in a low point. And that's like, I have thought about quitting maybe 3 times in this business. I'm not going to lie. And they were always in a very low point in my life. Either I was drinking, or I was, in a bad place with my guy, or I wasn't doing something that I love to do. My creativity I wasn't doing the things. So I was in the low point. And when I was in the low point, I almost made really bad decisions. So don't base your decisions on where you are in the moment. If you're in a low point, take a look at what you're doing. And if you're walking in that place of integrity, if you're in a super high point and you're doing all the things, also don't base your decisions on where you are at that high point, right? Don't, because you're going to make, oh, I'm going to buy this and I'm going to buy that and I'm going to do this. Just check things off. Notice where you are, what you're doing, you know, and that's what I've got.
Oh, I think that we're all going to go take a good, long, hard look in the mirror and figure out what our next transformation is out to be. And that's just exciting for me, right? So thank you so much, Christine. I'm so grateful that you took the time to come and speak to our team tonight. And I loved everything you had to say. So we really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, you're so awesome. And you're doing so incredible too. Like, I love watching the sisterhood grow. Like, what an incredible team you have. Like, kudos to all of you for everything that you do. And yeah, enjoy the process. Trust the process, embrace the process, have fun with it. Have fun with it. Please have fun with it. Okay.
Thanks, Christine. See you at Summit.
Okay.